So let's get right into it. What did you think about the trade between Seattle and Denver? What did you think about Russ now winding up in Denver? Your 2 cents on that subject.
So, when Detroit traded Stafford to Los Angeles, there was very much a feeling of good for the Lions, right? Like, this guy doesn't want to be there anymore. It's been hard enough. Let's just go ahead and send him somewhere nice, and that's what they did. With Russell in Seattle, it just seemed like everybody was tired of everybody, because I would have thought that they could have gotten more of a package for him than the one that they ultimately got back. And the one they got back wasn't bad, but you compare it like to the Stafford package, I'm not sure that it's the same. And I think most of us would have said that we thought that Russell Wilson was a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. But see, what I wanted to hear for the Broncos, just because so many people stay good, really old, doesn't mean that everybody's going to do that. And so Russell Wilson is 33 years old and has taken 40, 45 sacks a year since he got into the league 10 years ago. I don't know for how much longer he's going to be a guy that you can expect to play elite level quarterback.
So you would not have taken that shot that Denver took?
Well, I think if I'm Denver, I take the shot because it's the best chance that you're going to have. Like, everybody gets a bit handcuffed when you're in a year where there's no good quarterback in the draft, right? Where there's nobody in the draft that anybody seems to have real enthusiasm about. So then it's like, well, where do you go to find a quarterback? Good quarterbacks are typically not available. Like, I would even, if I'm on the phone with Seattle while this happening, given that Seattle is still trying to do something to win now, I'm really skeptical as to why it is this thing is for sale. What, just because he wants to be traded? What that got to do with anything?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's the ultimate mystery, Bomani, and that one I still can't get a straight answer about. Even privately, people, if you will, close to the situation, do not talk about it. It's like Fight Club or Third Rail, whatever you want to say, is why did Russell Wilson have to go? Why did he want to go? Why did this marriage get dissolved? What happened here? I don't get it.
Well, the front office doesn't seem to like him very much. Like, he doesn't seem to elicit the warm and fuzzies from the people who are around him. And the things that we heard about the way Richard Sherman and those guys looked at him, it doesn't sound like those guys necessarily liked him. That's not to say that he's a bad leader, because he might have been good at leading them. But he doesn't – one thing about Russell Wilson, if you've ever talked to him, and I imagine you guys have had the pleasure of him not answering your questions on your radio show, like I've had the pleasure of him not answering my questions on my radio show. And when he doesn't answer your questions on a radio show, it's not like he tries to be slick about it.
Right.
Like, he'll laugh to acknowledge, wow, what a great question that I would answer if I wasn't Russell Wilson. And then he just starts talking about something else. Like, I don't know how many people in his actual life really know that dude, because anytime we wind up around him or we see him, he's giving a projection of what Russell Wilson quarterback is supposed to be. And I don't know how well that works when you're actually dealing with people every day, like especially with the type of personalities they used to have on that team and the kind of personality that Pete Carroll is. But I am floored that a team that still thinks it has a chance to win now, whether that's true or not is its own discussion. But if they think they have a chance to win now and they traded a Hall of Fame quarterback away, wow.
Or they just figured that they didn't have a chance to win right now, and that without a first-round selection this year, this is their best chance to reset. And better to do it now than try and run back what they did last year. That may be it too, Bomani,
Yeah, it could. And I want to see what quarterback they ultimately wind up with, because that's when Russell Wilson's going to get really mad about this. Like, if he looks up and they think, fine, we'll just go get Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, man, I'd be ready to burn something down. Like, what exactly is it that you're trying to say about me? And so I just don't know what option there is for them to land. Like, I am actually talking myself into the idea that Mitchell Trubisky is going to be a good option for somebody. I'm really getting to that point. I don't feel great about it, but I got an argument. But they ain't going to win nothing if they got Mitchell Trubisky.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.